And it says we are live. Well, hello everyone. I want to welcome you back to Miss Kulala's Mystical Musings. And today I have my lovely friend Anasara. I don't know if I'm pointing to you.
Yep.
So, and we have an interesting chat that we're going to have today. And like the biggest thing that we're going to be discussing today are, probably some conspiracies, but the biggest thing we want to talk about is what we are seeing with the weather and these natural disasters and stuff. Is it a divine message? Hi, Sissy. My sister's here.
Hello.
Is it a natural cycle or human-made manipulation? So I want to invite you, the viewers, to just kind of sit with that question and share your opinions in chat, because we're going to, I know we have been seeing so many things on the news, and horrific things at that. And I mean, Anasara, you are in Canada.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing that I hear coming out of there are all the fires.
Yes, especially in BC, Calgary area, which they get every summer, but each year it's getting like worse. So, and I have friends up there as well. So
you, before we get really dig deep,
yep.
I know that you have a like an opinion, but it's based upon some of your spiritual beliefs, right?
Yeah.
You want to talk about that a little bit?
So, again, this is just speculation, just thoughts. So not pressuring to everybody to think this is what it is.
Exactly.
But yeah, if you go to Revelations in the Bible and you see what's happening now, some people say it's all about Revelations. Some people say it's just weather. Some people say it's the government. And I think it's a combination of everything.
So,
like the government, we already know, like they're doing seedings up and they're screwing up with the weather. They've already admitted with that. So, I mean, I get it if they're gonna try and make it rain, but at least try to make it rain where they actually freaking need the rain, like in Africa or in Guatemala, like places that need it. But even then, once you start tapping with the weather, Mother Nature does its own thing. So I think God knows everything. And he already knew all this was happening. So that's why I think it's also part of Revelation. Like, you're going to cause hurricanes and earthquakes, and those are all the signs in Revelations as well. So I do think it's part of the government and part of Revelations. It's a little bit of both.
So you are very, like your spirituality, you would call yourself Christian, right?
I was raised Christian, but I don't say I'm with any religion because religion is man-made.
Very
plain
true.
and simple. So
Very
I
true.
just follow God. I follow Jesus, and that's that.
But is that primarily from like King James, right? Like you believe in that message?
It's in a few different Bibles, but yeah, it's in King James as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm only establishing, so because a lot of people that are here don't really know who you are, because and even if they do, if they're new here, I want them to understand that you and I have been friends for a long time.
Yeah.
And we've done podcasts, and in fact, we're in we have something called the podcast chat that we bounce ideas back and forth all the time. But we send each other, these these reels either from Instagram or TikTok. And it's just, just to keep our minds open to stuff that's going on and keep each other aware. And Anasara has gone more towards like hardcore Christianity, teaching the message of, God and Jesus, where I'm more the God from the Old Testament is the demiurge, which is a Gnostic view, but I believe in Yeshua. So we have some different perspectives here.
Mhm.
But now when I think of the weather anomalies, like because of who I believe God is and he is like the source to me. He's like all of our consciousness together. He's in everything. I don't see him as any type of a personality. So I don't think that he would have anything to do with this. But I believe that we can manifest these things. And as the government having some like counting on the fact that when we hear something, we might run with it or associate it with something we've read, revelations, and we could possibly manifest something like revelations just because we believe it. And I feel like a lot of these elitist or people that are kind of behind the scenes, and that's my conspiratory type thinking, is that a lot of these higher ups are occultists and they understand what manifesting truly is. And so if they put in that little bit of seed, and then you've got a lot of people that are like, oh, and they did build all those underground cities. So, I mean, they got to pay for them, right? or make them useful.
Oh, that's where all of our taxes are going. Yeah.
And has anyone heard about that? There was a lady not too long ago, and I think we might have shared it in the podcast chat, was the lady that was the whistleblower talking about the underground cities, and that 21, I believe $21 trillion was like used to build these underground cities. And they have, these reels that we're seeing of, they're supposed to be anonymous, of the these semis or these people that are delivering to these. And it's like, oh, shh, shh, shh. But hey, look at me. I'm a semi driver and I am driving into this cave or the side of this mountain. And we are delivering food and supplies to sustain these people that are going to be living underground when a mass level extinction event happens.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, look, go if you really want to go down some rabbit holes, check out TikTok on all of that. I mean, it's but it's also, I mean, is it happening? Is somebody creating this type of fear? But well, hi, Sonia. It's nice to see you. So I think that well, let's see. Rochelle says, I think we can create this stuff with fear mongering, and that there is also engineering of our weather to bring about more of the fear mongering.
Yeah.
Yes. Hi, Courtney. Hi. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, I absolutely believe that. And that's something that we wanted to talk about too, is weather modification. Now, what have you heard about weather modification?
Well, we were discussing just before we went live. There was another podcast that I watched called Sunday Cool, and they talk about all the conspiracy theories, and they do their own research to get the facts, and then they talk about what they think and yada yada. So they were saying the flood that happened recently in Texas, that there was a pilot flying, I don't know the exact numbers, I'm saying like 45, 50 kilometers away, and he was doing seeding out there. And it was only for like 15 minutes or so, he said. And he goes, I couldn't have caused that flooding because it was only a few minutes and I wasn't in that town. And the people on the podcast were like, well, don't you think, weather, the wind, you know, it's all up in the sky and the air. You don't think it's going to cause any like consequence stuff? Like, that's what they were saying. So if you mess with nature, no matter where you are, you're going to have to like realize something or be prepared for something bad to happen.
That I agree with, because I think you might have said it before we came on, but nature does have its cycles.
Yep.
And that no matter what we do, if we are, throwing a wrench in that, it's like with anything, there's going to be consequences to that. And then when we were talking too, like, I've heard the conspiracy that Bill Gates bought up all the farmland. Well, he didn't buy up all the farmland, but he is
Majority
the largest private owner of farmland in America. So, I mean, if we look up what is he doing with that farmland, and I can tell you from personal experience and knowing what my farmer Bob goes through, is that it's very hard for these smaller farmers to produce crops. Mm-hmm. Way harder than it was, 5-6 years ago, and intensively so in the last couple of years. It's just putting a lot of them out of business. I mean, prices have quadrupled, and the weather has all but made some places just not able to grow. Like the places that are flooded can't grow their crops because, again, unless they're, underwater rice type thing, they're not going to be able to grow their crops. The fires have taken out a lot of it. So we're losing our ability to feed ourselves because of the farmers, or because of their struggles. So
and there's going to be any fire on his property.
I mean, I'm really interested to see how his farmland is doing. I really am. I really am. Unless he knew, well, if I am able to get ahead of what all these other people might be suffering, I wonder, it's almost like, what do they call that when you are, when you know the outcome and you bet on it? It's like a lot of people in the government got in trouble for that not too long ago, right? I forget what that's called, but I don't want to get political, but yeah, when when something's going to happen, and how would you know that? So I mean, thank you. Yes, that's it. Yes, that's it. You guys know, Yes.
It's definitely pre-planned, because it's just that there's no such thing as coincidences. There isn't. Everything happens for a reason, whether it's good or bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
And cloud seeding used to be illegal, and I think within the last 10 years they've brought it back. And I was looking at like articles from the local colleges and stuff where they're talking about agriculture, and one of the articles was about that the reason that they brought it back. Hey, Tony. One of the reasons that they brought it back was to help the farmers. So again, well, they need rain. Let's get the rain. Well, but all we're seeing are the after effects. And then we have these hurricanes, and again, we see the food shortages, and we see the inflation, because, people are projecting that wheat is going to be high because they can't grow rice in certain areas, or because of the weather. Same with the fires.
Yep.
So again, it's kind of like if you follow the money, you kind of wonder what the hell is going on here.
I don't know, especially the fruits and vegetables as well. I went to the store, and I think there was like a small like container of pomegranate, like this big, and that was, I think, $5. Something like that big.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Okay, like, gets worse. That was a couple of years ago. And last year, it shrunk even more, half the size, and it was $7. Half the size. It was like so small. I'm not gonna pay freaking $7 for that. But like cookies and bubblegum and crap, their price went up very little. Pisses me off. Ugh.
Yeah, and I think that that's not really going to change anytime soon.
No, it's just going to get worse every year.
Mm-hmm. So Jess says, what are your thoughts on the increase of earthquakes and volcanic activity? And Courtney even says Yellowstone, and then, animals migrating. So, I mean, I'm telling you that these are all valid things. And I want to show you something before I share my ideas. Has anyone ever saw anything like this, a map that looks like this? All of those dark areas, I think, are projected to not exist or be underwater. I don't know if you can see this, but that is from Nostradamus and Dolores Cannon's chats. And these are, you would really have to read. There's like 3 books on this, but she goes into these quatrains, and with Nostradamus's consciousness, helps to retranslate. And one of the quatrains talks about like the world having a major geographical change by the year 2027. Also recently, I have heard that people consider her to be part of the patriarchal energy that is coming forth, like she was kind of an instigator with all that. And I love Dolores Cannon in the aspect of she took me down some major rabbit holes, you know what I mean? And I got some validation from experiences as a child and to a young adult that just kind of made sense to me when it comes to, past lives and alien abduction and all that. So I adore her and I respect her. So the whole conspiracy that she might be fear mongering, I can understand the idea, but I think that any type of conspiracy can be considered fear mongering if we look at it as, oh shit, what the hell can I do? Mm-hmm. Because I do think that we manifest our realities. I truly believe that. So if anything, I think that we have free will, which means if we change our thought process and not a place of fear, as no matter what happens, we're going to be okay. Because if you think about, what a true ascension is, it's inevitable as far as like death is inevitable for us humans. And I think if I was in a situation where I saw a mushroom cloud, I would just be like, okay, that's it. And we're done. Let's just go. We're done. We're going. How can you prepare? There's no way to prepare for something like that, except for, in my opinion, spiritually. And I am not afraid of that, not one iota. What do you think about that?
No, I agree. I do. Yeah.
I think manifesting too is like whatever you believe, that puts you on that timeline of that. Mm-hmm. And I think some people's disaster could be a type of saving. It really, I don't know if I'm finding the right words. Like perspective and the way we view things it's going to be different from one person to the next.
Right.
What's up with creating our own heaven on earth? I missed a lot, so I'm going to go back and see what all I've missed. Yeah. So going back to like the volcanic activity. So with that being said, I've heard that a lot of people think that we're not that spiritual. I think we are, and I see more of that rising. So I think that we are raising the frequency of the earth, and I think that as we raise the frequency of the earth, that it's gonna shake her up a little bit. It's gonna make things, it's like a birth. They call it birthing pains,
Yep.
of bringing forth again our own heaven on earth. Yeah, I think that, so that would bring, I think, more volcanic activity or earthquakes. But then there's also something called HAARP, which Courtney
Yeah.
was talking about earlier. That, I mean, if there's a,
That is just bad news. I have never felt anything good with HARP. Nope, nothing.
yep, exactly. And then we got CERN. I mean, they're messing with things that it's kind of like playing, I don't want to say playing God in the aspect of like the source, but we've heard the mythologies of Atlantis and Lemuria, that in those times they were splicing DNA and doing things that kind of went against not so much like a God set of rules, but like a universal principle or something, like the going against universal laws, and I could see, again, it's kind of like when you interfere with nature, there's going to be some consequences there. Let's see.
So we're definitely messing up not just the air, but we're also messing up underneath the ground as well, inside the water.
Yeah.
Like, no matter where you go, these governments, scientists, people, they're just, I just, like I said before, I think the last video, like, I can understand from a scientific point of view, like, this is very exciting and you want to know more. I get that, but there's always should be a line where you don't cross, because it's just not meant to cross. Some things are not meant. And they're just ignoring everything. They're just doing whatever. And we, the people, are going to be suffering for it because of them.
Yes. Yes. Oh, yeah, I know, right? I was like, oh, we were talking about inflation. Yeah. Yeah. But, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, I mean, I can't even remember without looking at my notes everything that I wanted to touch on. But the biggest thing is that the way that I see the source or God is not as this personality that gets angry, but what I do see is nature having a natural way that it moves, and we're fucking with it. We are messing with it. So I think that there's going to be consequences, and I think that there is a certain faction that are almost like counting on it, because our population is world population is off the hook, right? And of course that makes sense. And we keep hearing from these is it anonymous or people like that are like, oh, there's too many people to control. They can't have that. They got to control the people. So how do you do that? You have a reset.
Yeah.
And only the fit will survive. So we're going to go underground and we're going to survive this extinction.
That's what I think the government is trying to do, to have a reset. Because there's a lot of people not choosing to have kids anymore because
that's true.
Food is either too pricey, or what we can afford is not healthy for you. And people can't afford their own houses. So yeah, there's a lot of my friends who are younger than me. They're just like, no, I love kids. I would love to have kids, but not in this world. No.
I know, I've heard that too. And it's completely understandable. It really is. I mean, we're all over the place, and it's not just here. You see it where you are.
Yep.
we see it everywhere. Tony is in the UK, and you're in Canada. So
That,
I mean,
sorry to interrupt, that heat wave a while ago in England, that was really bad over there. And they've had a heat wave before, but again, this was worse than the last time. And then we had it. I mean, it wasn't as bad, but like, especially for the elderly, they can't go outside. There's no way. But I had to point to that, and I totally forgot it now.
well, that's called brain fog
And
when you go through menopause. I still get it.
yeah,
Well, I think it might have done some damage, actually.
it was really good too. Hopefully, it'll come back to me.
It will. It will. I have said that lately. My kids and many youth feel so lost. I encourage them daily to follow their bliss and spirit. It's what will get them through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's excellent advice.
I can't remember. That like hardly ever happens. I always forget, and then after when we leave, then I remember. But I remember.
Okay.
So after the heat wave, I remember the past few years now, Ontario, the province where I live in, we've been getting a lot of tornadoes as well. And we hardly ever get tornadoes, at least from the side where I live. So like I live near the city of Toronto, and we've had the occasional like tornado warning, like once in a blue moon, like once a year kind of thing. But we've had many warnings throughout the year, and we've had a few tornado touchdowns. They didn't last long, but I mean, it's getting there, and it's just weird. It's never happened. There was one like an hour away from me, and nobody got hurt that I know of. But yeah, it's weird how things are really picking up, especially in places where nothing really ever happens. But I think eventually it's just going to happen everywhere.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Just I got to tell you, I love that picture. You look gorgeous. I just wanted to tell you that. But anyway.
What are you talking about?
Jess, my friend Jess, witchy best friend, she changed her picture recently, and hot mama. And talking about how our oldest is trying to get pregnant, and it's just not happening. So then you have, I get it. It's so frustrating because others are like deliberately not having children because of the state of the world. And then you have ones that are struggling because they want to have them. And it's like, yeah, we've got to find our happiness no matter what it is in order to get through this stuff. So Anasara, I grew up in West New York, and that has been happening there too.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Oh. So I do find it like I think that there's something to the fear mongering as far as like, do I think something is coming? I am not ever going to be the person that says, oh, that is just, I'm going to put my head in the sand and nothing is happening, because I do think stuff is happening. I do think that, it's, to me, it's anytime you turn on the TV or you watch any type of, it doesn't have to be the news. It's all over TikTok. It's all over Instagram. It's all over YouTube. It's your neighbors. It's people are talking about all of the things that are going on across the world when it comes to weather, natural disasters, fires, obviously the flood in Texas. I mean, these are horrific things. So if you think that nothing is coming, I think for myself, I can see there's something coming. But again, I don't buy into apocalyptic type mass level extinction, because even if that does happen, there's not a thing I can do about it. So why am I worrying about it type thing?
Yeah.
So let these elitists that want to, I'm not going to feed into that freaking narrative. I'm not going to give them my energy, my power, my sovereignty, because I am living in the now. And I hope that most people do that, because when we don't, we miss out on what's going on in the now. That's for me, that's my grandbabies. That's you. That's my community. That's the people that I love. And they don't need me. Again, this is not fear mongering. This is just me saying, oh my gosh, yeah, there's something coming. That means I'm going to love more. I'm going to spend more time with the people that I love. And I'm just going to keep spreading what I think is good news, because that's what's most important.
Yep.
Finding things to be grateful for. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Absolutely.
I think that I mean the earth has its own plan. Like when it comes to earthquakes or floodings or whatever, like it happens because it just happens. But the past couple of years, a lot of times, who knows, even I don't know, like before I was born, who knows, maybe the government was still doing something then. We don't know. Like I do believe a lot of it's part of the government and CERN and all this stuff. And we are making a lot of those things happen on Earth that are the same things that are staying in Revelations. So it's not God doing it. God is just watching because he already knows. He's just let these people do their thing because they're free will, but we are doing it mostly, I think.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And that's the whole thing. We're not here to like tell you how to believe or nothing. We're just having a chat about what to me is obvious, is that yeah, there's a lot of shit going on, and some of it is just I can't even imagine. I don't even want to imagine. I'm getting ready to go to Texas, and I am wondering what I'm going to walk into. You know what I mean? As far as like, because I know how I feel about my babies.
Yeah.
And I just, it's hard for me to even wrap my head around it. But then again, I know that there would be nothing that I could do at that point, so all I can do is send love and just hold those people.
What are you going to do in Texas?
Oh, I have a childcare conference that I'm going to. And I'm so excited. It's in Dallas. And I don't remember where that was. But I mean,
I think that was.
We hear it here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, oh my goodness. Yes, I agree with her. I've seen they are creating the revelations. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I think they are counting on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's another thing too. I mean, those the solar flares or whatever, like I've been following sometimes when we have a major one, and they will put warnings out, and it messes with our grid. Like phones won't work, anything digital. So, I mean, yeah. And I think that's worse. That's amped up. So, I mean, and I don't think we're doing anything to cause the sun to be more active, except for, are we depleting something that we're getting more of the
we're definitely messing up with the, what's it called? I don't know what it's called. It's in my head. I'm so good at remembering. What's it called? The I want to say ozone, but that's not right.
That was the thing that was coming to my mind, but
Yeah, it's
that's what Rochelle says. It's the ozone layer. So, I
okay.
mean, yeah.
So yeah, because a lot of the pollution that we created and a lot of the seeding and who knows what else is going up there, it's messing up with our ozone layer. Therefore, my mom was saying, I think the sun is like hotter, like every year seems to be hotter and hotter in the summer. She goes, is the sun brighter? And I even told you after one of the solar eclipses, like, this is an unusual bright. Like the next day, I'm like, it's not usually this bright. I think there's something different. Again, it could be just me. I could be wrong. But I think it's messing up with the layers. So we're seeing more of the sun because before those protection layers are for us. So we don't get burned alive pretty much from the sun. But
Yeah.
now it feels like it's like fading.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just thinking out of my head.
I have been that's another freaking rabbit hole to go down though, because some people are taking pictures of two suns, which I think could be overexposure type thing. What do they call that? But
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? You know, I mean, sometimes when our reality shifts or we're on another dimension, it's like that's another thing that I mean, it's a whole other conspiracy, but that another I think it's a galaxy or yeah, it's got to be a galaxy. Somebody was talking about it. Maybe it was something I heard through the grapevine. Anyway, that we had a universe collapsing on top of ours, or it was a galaxy, or I'm pretty sure it was a galaxy that we are like melding with each other,
Yeah.
kind of. So, I mean, who knows if some people aren't seeing in that, and if we are, you know, fragments of ourselves in other dimensions, you know, like all at once, if we're experiencing everything all at once, you know, all of our lives, then maybe we are on a dimension somewhere where there's, or another plane of existence where there's two suns and we happen to see it. You know, I mean, to me all of those things are probable. You know, it's like, no, there you can't. Well, how do you know? I mean, you know. Oh my gosh. Nibiru. I've heard that one too. That's a whole.
Yeah.
Ooh, we're
Part of that
talking
too.
about the return of the Anunnaki. I mean, yeah, yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. So, just says the sun goes through cycles of high activity. AJ says we're in the middle of one now where it's at its highest. And that I've heard that also. So, I mean, has it been this bad before? I guess the only way to know is to go back through history. But then are they going to tell us the truth?
You know,
Or has it been erased?
the government and the news, they say whatever, but they always tell a little bit of the truth and then a little bit of crap. So they're not necessarily, well, they've lied before, yes, but they're not lying all the time. They're just fibbing a little bit and then just not saying more. So which is just as worse. Because more and more, I don't know, I like to think more people are getting smarter and figuring things out and questioning things.
Yes. Yes.
And these airplanes, do you remember, have you heard these airplanes just dropping off the sky, like crashing? Have you heard about that?
I think I have heard stuff about that, but
There's like so many in the past like 2 months, I think it was. One of them, the plane was just lifting off the ground and then was going up, and then they couldn't go anymore, and then they crashed. And there was another, I don't know if this was
I have
the
heard
same
that.
one.
Yeah.
There was another airplane that crashed, but I can't remember which one, that there's only one survivor in the entire plane. 11A, him sitting in 11A. And then there was a plane crash a few years before, another person sitting in 11A. He was the only survivor. And I was like, what?
Wow.
I go, that's strange. Yeah.
I've been down the "you've been alive for a week" rabbit hole, the Thursday theory thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And the planes. Yeah, that's something I think actually I don't know if it was news or what, but I had heard about it. I mean, there's all sorts of like theories.
There was like 3 planes in 1 week.
Yeah. Yeah, and they were doing the blame game, right? Wasn't that the whole thing? Am I thinking of
I
something
don't know.
else?
I don't remember, but I just remember like, geez, like this is getting ridiculous. There was too many of them. And then I just saw on Facebook, 2 or 3 days ago in Toronto, a kid on the dock.
I
Yes.
think you guys watched many TikTok. I'm sticking to my prankster and animal videos. I love them too. Absolutely.
There was a teenager sitting on the dock, and an airplane was going down and just crashed on him, and the teenager died. But the
Wow.
people in the airplane survived.
Okay. Yeah. I
Uh,
am out of the loop on that one. That's crazy.
yeah, that just happened a few days ago. Poor guy. Mudslides. Oh, South. And now I could be wrong. It was South Korea, or
I know, me too.
was it South Korea or somewhere else had another flood, or Mexico? South Korea or Mexico, or both? I can't remember. There was floods there, and like mudslides are happening. It's just, this earth is just breaking, man. Just breaking.
I remember when I first started hearing about the fires being in overdrive, I actually drove through Minnesota and saw in Wisconsin, the forest that had been burned down. And then I remember looking at the map of where all the wildfires were, and it was massive. It was freaking massive all over the world. So then I went down the rabbit hole. There was like 47 volcanoes erupting at one time. And one of them was actually, let's see, I believe it's in the Pacific, because it was like
Yeah.
Oregon, I think. But they said that it was erupting underneath.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah. So I was thinking, wow, that seems like there would be some type of a, aftermath of that.
Tsunami of some sort.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I didn't hear anything, thank God. And I have a friend that lives in Oregon, but I mean, yeah. And then, this other thing, I think actually, I don't think Billy Carson had said anything about it, but one of the volcanoes had these stingray-like animals. Maybe it was you that shared it. I don't remember. It might have been in the podcast chat, but that there were these stingray-like animals that were spotted. Their eggs, they were prehistoric eggs. They weren't actually stingrays, but they were something similar, that were all around this active volcano, underwater volcano.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever they said they could, maybe they're some type of, I think maybe
Prehistoric eggs.
yeah,
Could you imagine? Oh gosh.
Yeah. I think they might have been harmless, as far as they were thinking they were some type of a harmless species, but I mean, I'm still thinking, what if?
Yeah.
So, Courtney, what if?
Well,
what if?
Yeah,
Courtney has a series that's called What If, and she goes down these rabbit holes. So, yeah, prehistoric animals coming back to live with us today.
They did the dire wolf not too long ago. They grabbed some DNA from a dire wolf and made an egg or whatever.
I think I have heard of that.
And
yeah,
then they were gonna try something else. They were thinking about I could be wrong, like one of those the pterodactyls. I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm just thinking of some type of dinosaur creature of some sort. But I'm just like, why? I go, don't. Like, again, scientists are going off the board with this stuff. Like,
Yeah,
we
I'm
already have
just
enough shit going on in the world. We don't need them coming back. No, thank you.
I
No.
yeah. So I think you were probably referring to those weird eggs and stuff. So Angela asked, do you ever think someone or something has time traveled and messed things up? So nature has to set it right, like allowed overpopulation, etc. And so nature says we have to take care of it. Yeah, there's going to be consequences. Like I heard that you should never meet yourself, that actually happens, that we travel back and we're not supposed to like talk to ourselves, but people have done that. They like find themselves
Yeah.
and like, hey, I got to give you a warning. Like, nope, you weren't supposed to do
Or
that.
if you go in the past and change something, right?
Yeah,
Then it's gonna have effect later. If you go in the past just to observe and say nothing, fine.
yeah,
But we're
yeah.
humans. A lot of us don't listen. So, but I
Thank
mean,
you.
it's a. I believe in time travel. Why not? I
Mm-hmm,
think anything is
mm-hmm. What
possible.
a bunch, what a bunch of dumbasses. She says, yeah, I mean, we play with shit and we just don't know what we're doing sometimes.
Yeah, it'll take us like 100 times to say, "Oh, maybe we shouldn't do it," and that's just a maybe.
They are, I mean, seriously, Rochelle's right. All this shit I see on TikTok, it's right. It's there. If you look it up and you can imagine it, you'll find a TikTok video. But I've saw videos like that where they actually have seen dinosaurs, but they're being very secretive about it. And they're on like an island in China or somewhere, off to the around there,
Like a real Jurassic Park.
Japan, or maybe it was Japan, but yeah, like a dinosaur. Yeah, like they're breeding them. Yeah. And they are actually trying to revive them. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, there's a TikTok for everything. Yes, there is.
Jeez.
Yep. But I think that if it's probable, then it's probable. But I also believe that I don't believe everything.
Right.
So it's like, if I think
Yeah.
about it as entertainment, then I'm good with that.
Mhm.
Hi, Debbie. Yes, yes. And all of the how-tos are on YouTube. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And if they're videoing the area, you can guarantee they've already done and tried it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's
Absolutely.
a lot of videos on YouTube and TikTok, and it's funny. You gotta be careful because there's so much out there, and then there's like people pretending to be or pretending to do something to make it look real, to make us think. But then again, there's a lot of videos that look fake that are real. So like, dude, you
There,
have to go with, not just your brain, but just go with your gut. Like, this looks too good to be true. Then, do your research, see if there's other websites, and so on and so on.
absolutely. Because I also think that there's a good possibility that if they want to keep something hush hush, that's their way of getting ahead of it, is to discredit anyone that might come out with the truth. So in
Right.
order to do that, that's where the blurry videos come in. Because I guarantee if there's a clear one, you're not going to see it. It's going to get shut down before
Yeah.
your eyes see it. So if it's
Yeah.
blurry, you can watch that one. That's all right. Because they're going to discredit anything they don't want the truth to be out about. So and you're absolutely right. It's called discernment. And we have to do that with everything. We have to do it with the news. The news, that's why I stay away from the news, because they're all saying the same thing anyway.
Yeah.
I'm going to get my entertainment and some news, and then I'll use my discernment. you know, some things we're not going to get away from hearing. And I think that holding space for people that are going through horrible things is a good thing that we're able to do that, but yeah.
For our other topic, we need to for the next video, we should talk about the Denver airport, because they've added, I think they've added something different to the airport, or they changed something and they did something different. It was on that podcast too. I have to go back and see, but I don't know. You people in Denver, I don't know. I would never want to go to that airport. It just gives me the heebie-jeebie vibes. It's just creepy.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't gone down the rabbit hole of that except for what you've shared in the podcast chat, but I mean, it's definitely, I think that painting, that big old painting, is supposed to tell a big story.
Yeah. It's weird. So weird.
Yes.
Just want to look at something.
Oh, yeah. So she said, yes, definitely talk about the Denver airport.
Denver? Yeah.
Yeah. The airport is definitely occult connected. Yes. I want to go to that airport too. Absolutely. Because I mean, anything, the horse outside has balls, giant blue freaking balls.
I thought I had red eyes.
I don't know.
The horse is blue and it has red eyes.
And it's got big blue balls. I'm sorry.
And his name is Lucifer.
You see the balls on that horse? Anyway.
I just want to read something.
Okay. All right.
So in Matthew chapter 24, no one knows the day and the hour. That's the title. So no one knows, however, when the day and hour will come, neither the angels in heaven nor the Son. The Father only knows. The coming of the Son of Man will be like what happened in the time of Noah. In the days before the flood, people ate and drank, men and women married, up to the very day Noah went into the boat. Yet they did not realize what was happening until the flood came and swept them all away. That is how it will be when the Son of Man comes. At that time, 2 men will be working in a field. One will be taken away, the other will be left behind. 2 women will be at a mill grinding meal. One will be taken away, the other will be left behind. Watch out then, because you do not know what day your Lord will come. If the owner of a house knew the time when the thief would come, you can be sure that he would stay awake and not let the thief break into his house. So then you all, oh my gosh, I can't read. So then you almost must always be ready, because the Son of Man will come at any hour when you're not expecting him.
Right. And the way I look at that is we don't know the date of our death anyway. We don't. Yeah. None of us know when we're, so I mean, that is accurate in that sense, that none of us know when we're going to die. Yeah. And that, I mean, I think that it speaks of even alien abduction. I mean, I think that isn't that where people get the rapture idea from?
Could be, yeah.
From something like that. And yeah, exactly. Debbie says, strangely, I love that passage. I'm telling you, it's universal. People recognize it. And and I imagine a lot of people are thinking about it right now. And I think, how could you not? That's the whole thing. But to me, I've never, even when I was a devout Christian, and believe me, I still believe in Yeshua, but I know that his message has been totally twisted, and he was probably more pagan than the Christians recognize what paganism is today. I really believe that. But I think that I would get excited, even if I thought there was a tornado coming. I was the stupid kid outside yelling, tornado, tornado, woo-hoo. My grandma, get your ass in the house. What the hell's wrong with you? Get your ass. Good thunderstorm. It excites me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm stupid. But yeah, I get excited more than I do anything else because, again, I can't, there's nothing I can do really that's going to keep me from when my time's here, it's here, you know, and it does. I don't know. I could be, you know, I could fall down the stairs. I got some crickety old steps here that, you know, and I'm old. I'll break things. I know, you know, yeah. Have you seen those pranksters where, they'll walk out of the room and their partner's laying on the floor, and they walk and they don't see him. They go, ah!
Yeah. Or they paint their face completely black, and they're just like they're waiting for them to look.
That's mm-hmm. That'd be it.
Funny.
Okay. Jess says, I think I'm going to die between 54 and 56 unless the world explodes first. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Hey, Carolina. Hi. How you doing? We've just been talking about the apocalypse.
Yeah. And how the government and us people are messing everything up.
Yes. Weather modification and yeah. So we're almost at the hour. So, and you just read that. So do you think that is what is happening right now, Anasara?
I think we're making the revelations come true. We are doing that.
Yeah, I think that there are definitely. So if that's a possibility, then it means that we're capable of making really anything happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we put our heads together. Yeah, Debbie says, yeah, nothing too heavy. I saw a palmistry book that a certain line says that your love will pass before you. Oh, I have not saw that. Luke has it, so I'm going first. I'm glad for that. Ooh, you're going to have to tell me what that is because I don't know what that is. Huh. I mean, I can look at my own Rassets and pretty much see, you know, what my time looks like as projected, you know, the trajectory I'm on. It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. Yes, ma'am. Yes. You know? And I hope, think about this. This is something else that I have truly thought about. That say all the elitists go underground. Say they do that. And we have this mass level extinction. So imagine all the spiritual people, the ones that work hard on themselves, and they understand what Ascension is. I'm getting goosebumps. Okay, guys. Imagine a mass level extinction. What do you think is going to happen? We're going to open our spirit eyes all at the same time. We're not going to be lost. No, we will not be lost. We will know what just happened, right? We will understand exactly who we are in that moment and look out the people that are still left behind, because we will have all ascended at once. I'm telling you, if that happens, I already know. There's no walking around wondering, am I dead? No. I have no doubt in my mind that there will be a mass awakening at that point. And think about all of us together at that point in time. We've seen it in smaller areas, okay, where a lot of people die at one time. And I guarantee you walk into that area, you will feel what was left behind there. The imprint of that energy. Yeah. I'm getting goosebumps everywhere, you know?
And we will all be able to see the spiritual realm without trying.
Yeah, we will know. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to get all preachy there. I'm just like, I feel like that would be amazing. You know what I mean?
Very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So I agree. Lucifer said humanity will continue. And when I asked him, but Carla, I'd love that mass ascension. Yes. Civilizations disappeared. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And oh gosh, partay time. Yeah. Could you imagine? I mean, the ability that we have, our spiritual self, the ability that we have right now, we haven't even tapped into it. But when this flesh is gone, because flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of heaven,
Right.
what do you think just happened? That's heaven on earth.
Mm-hmm.
We just created a new heavens and an earth right there and then. And we've got free will to do whatever we want in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'd be flying over to you, hey.
Exactly. No, we wouldn't have to worry about teleportation,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody, let's go. Yeah, let's hallelujah, hallelujah. Anyway, but
Yep.
yeah, it's the truth. It's the truth. That's why I don't worry about it. I just would want to make sure that I had all my loved ones with me,
Yes.
because I would want us all to be together. My mom has even said that. She's like, I just want us all to be together. Yeah. So anyone read Childhood's End by Arthur C. Clarke? It talks about how we fix humanity and stuff. I will definitely be looking at it. I'm reading The Institute right now because there was a episode of called The Institute. It's a book by Stephen King that just came out on MGM, and I don't want to wait for the whole series to be on there. I figured I'll just get the book and read it.
Good.
So that's what I'm doing. Yeah. Oh, I feel like I'm at some sort of revival now. That's right. Yeah. I don't want to give the end, but aliens come help us fix the world and how we pay. Oh. Oh, shit. I'm definitely getting that book now. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I haven't even been reading my Ethiopian Bible. Oh my gosh, it's so hard to read because it's Old English. So I have to reread the sentence like 5 times. I'm like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
now I get it. Next sentence. I'm like, it takes an hour to read like one page.
That's why I did it on Audible. I mean, I've got the physical copy, but I listen to it on Audible. And I pretty much do that with everything because I have to hear it.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, like you, I got to read it so many different times. But here's something else that I love you too. And thank you, Courtney. I watched this fella, Anasara. His name is Morg Official. And he was talking about this ancient text that was written by I would imagine some Gnostics. It's a Gnostic text, and I think he called it the truth. Excuse me. And it it describes how we were created. And he's like, I just want people to remember that the people that write these scripture, or if it's a group or whatever it is, they're still human like you and I. And they had a state of gnosis, a powerful download from the universe, and they decided to write it down. They're just as imperfect as you and I. If I wrote something 5 years ago, I've probably grown from that point and had many other forms of personal gnosis since then. So
Yeah.
anything that we read
Can
is
probably
still,
change.
yeah, exactly. And the fact that we as the human race have, free will and everything that we do is trajectory. It doesn't mean it's set in stone. So even prophecy is just someone saying, hey, I saw this in a dream or I saw this in a vision, or this came to me. It's because that's a trajectory that we're on. And we can change anything, but that's the power.
Mm-hmm.
And so, again, that is something that it just proves how powerful we are, and we're going to manifest whatever happens. We are what we think. And that's why anything that I read, it's just, it's something that I think, okay, all right, I'm going to consider this, but it's not something that I'm going to live by.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
might help me shape my own doctrine, my own set of rules, but even those are going to change because that's the human experience. It's growth,
Mm.
growing from who we were yesterday. And I feel like that's anybody. And I think that some of us might be a little bit more in touch with the source or have that link, that path to the source, and they might get better information than us?
Mhm.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
that's why I love listening to what the ascended masters said. But if you truly listen, it's all the things that they're saying that are common that to me are like, well, there you go. Now there's something to that. If
Mhm.
they said it 1400 years apart in a different part of the world,
Yeah.
those are the things that I think are important because they got that in a state of gnosis too. Well, wow. Whoa. You know?
Mhm.
So those are the things that really impact me when you hear the same stories retold in a different culture and a different tongue. And, yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it would be easier to connect with the divine thousands of years ago because we have way too many distractions now. As we get further and further into the future, it gets harder and harder to
That
connect, to
is,
meditate.
that's a good
Like
point.
I don't remember the last time I actually meditated. I think I sat outside trying not to think of anything. So not really a meditation, but I was relaxed and not on my phone and not watching TV, not talking with anybody. But like I find it hard here. If I was living in a cabin in the woods, which is my dream, with a lake, I mean, I would feel more grounded and more stronger and more mindful to like be in the zone more.
That is an excellent point. That is a excellent point because that's, oh wow, yeah. Yeah. And getting to those places where we don't have all the distractions is probably when we are going to have the best discernment or the
Mhm.
downloads or whatever. So yeah, I agree with that. And I mean, that's why I think, if the ascended masters, they got that way because they were doing that work or they were traveling the world
Well, we're in the
and
freaking mountains, most of all, away from civilization, right? It's
Mhm.
just peaceful, so it's much easier. And
It's a
they
bot.
meditate like 100 times a day
Yeah.
and
Oh,
eat.
yeah. Yeah.
But a funny thing, what was it? A couple of weeks ago, I was talking to some friends, and I was talking with the reverend at the church, and I was thinking, like, I feel stuck right now. Like I'm working with my mom, and I like helping her. It's all good, but we get 2 jobs maybe a month, and I need a little bit more, but, like, I don't know where to look for work because I have very little experience with things in, like, all areas pretty much. Um, and people are like, "Well, just stick with this for now and look later," and I keep feeling this anxious feeling like, I feel like I'm wasting time, feel like I'm wasting time, and anything negative, which is like anger, sad, worry, anxious, all that. That's all fear based. So if you're feeling any of those things, you shouldn't be feeling that. You need to release that somehow and get rid of it. Um, and the Reverend, he says you need to be still. You need to like be still and try to listen what God is telling you. And that what I think is so freaking hard because I have a hard time meditating. And today, shit you not. So this is weeks ago, okay? And then today in the sermon, he was talking about patience, being still. I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? I was like, okay, this sermon's for me today for sure. I was like, it's funny how those things happen because When people keep telling you and you're like, okay, it's been a few weeks now, and then you go and then you're getting the same message again. You're like,
I think that goes along with what my sister said here. She says, yes, but I also think that we have more of an advantage to evolve our mass consciousness now versus then, because we are so connected now. We just have to learn to channel it better instead of mass media. So it's like, again, what we see. And
yeah,
I see this happen, especially in the political arena and probably religious arena too. We see something and we just run with it because someone has a narrative or an agenda they're pushing. And so instead of doing any research, we just run with it. That causes people to just, again, their energy is focused on whatever that is. But the fact that we're able to do that is such a powerful thing. And because there are so many. So it's like what she's talking about here. Absolutely. It's like where one or more is gathered in that, whatever it is, if it's prayer, if it's meditation, if whatever it is, that is the power of that. It is like, I'm so glad you said this, sis, because I think that is absolutely right on point there. Angela says, I agree, Rochelle, and I don't think we need to hide our understanding and collectiveness like during dark ages, etc. Right? Because when we think about what we've been through so far, I mean, people were beheaded. Then we get to the freaking witch trials, whether they were truth or not, the point is people have been ostracized or even, killed or burned because of their beliefs. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, now it's more acceptable, at least in America. It should be, right? I mean, we don't want to fall back into where it's not. But
dude, could you imagine if it went back like that?
No.
Because they talk about, well, yeah, but because it talks about in the days of Noah. So we have to think about how everyone was living in the time of Noah. We're going to go back to that. We're not moving forward for the good. We're moving forward, but going backwards. That's what it's going to end up like. I hope I'm not going to be here for that because I don't want that. I hope I'll die in my sleep or something fast and I'll be out of here. I don't. That kind of freaks me out a bit. It does.
Ooh. Yeah, I would
to go back in olden times and to have punishment the same or to live like that. Oh, man.
I hope that never happens. And I think that's a part of the fear mongering that's going on with the politically in America. It seems one group is more aligned with who's in the seat right now, who's in the hot seat.
Yeah.
And so that is intimidating in the aspect of, will there come a time that the masses turn on each other again because of spiritual beliefs? I can see the division, but that is because of media. That is because of media. And it is because, people are misinformed again, because they limit themselves to what they research when it comes to esoteric times. And not all Christianity believes the same thing. So, I mean, and not all, you know what I mean? And not, it's why I'm Omnist. And I'll say it over and over and over again. I find truth in everything, but not one thing is the truth, which allows me to use my own discernment and my own personal gnosis to understand. And I do believe that we know. I believe that we truly know. So when somebody says, no, that's not true, what you believe is not true. And so say they try to paint a witch as evil, or they try to, tarot is evil or whatever. That is misinformation. And I will stand up for that. And I would probably die for that, because I'm not going to fall into any establishment or structure that says I'm not allowed that freedom. I guarantee.
Mhm.
And that would be a very unfortunate thing. Do I see it heading that way? No, I don't, because I think too many of us are enlightened enough to understand that those things are not the way that they have been painted in the past. Again, hence why witches might have been burnt, because magic is evil, or some way. Come on. Yeah. So yeah. Let's hope that, I wouldn't, you're right. I would be like, okay, just, I'm done. Nobody's going to tell me. Yeah. We'll see who wins in the end.
Yeah.
Type thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Take me out. I'm more powerful then. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what Stern and Harper is gonna do in the next year. Hmm.
Well, I'm sure they're gonna FUCK something up. you
Yep.
know?
There's really nothing that shocks me
Right.
anymore.
Yes.
It would take a lot for me to be like,
Yeah.
I'd be like, whoa. I'm like, okay. Well, not surprised.
I
That's
will
how I
say,
live a lot.
like, my sister and I have talked about this too. There are like, if it got to where we were threatened, then the things that I am open about now, I would, if I thought I was threatened about certain things, I would keep certain things to myself
Hmm.
as a way to protect my family. You know what I mean? Because myself personally, they can do whatever they want to me, but I would definitely protect my family. So I would inevitably die for my beliefs, because I would not conform my beliefs just to appease a government of sorts. I just wouldn't do it.
No, 100% with you on that. Yeah. If I
Yeah.
have to get like some implant in me to buy crap, I'd be like, nope, take me to prison. Thank you. Not doing that.
Yeah, I don't want anybody messing with my brain. It's
Nope.
it, it's already got something going on in there.
You're
Yeah.
like, the best memory. Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah. Menopause done screwed with my memory. Holy smokes. But anyway, yeah, so I think this was an excellent chat. And I don't know anything. I just know that I can see what's going on in the world, and I can have my assumptions, and I think we all do.
Yeah.
I just, it's something that, to me, just means we are a part of something that's happening, and how, whatever we think of that, it is, to me, an amazing time to be a part of.
Yep.
It's, if it can be scary if you think about the things that could happen, but I don't think about those things. I think about the things that I want to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I want to say thank you to everyone in chat, and I love a good rabbit hole.
Yes.
And yeah, so the next time, Anasara, I think when you come on, we really should talk about that Denver airport.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you again, and thank you, Anasara. And I'm gonna say goodbye, and don't forget, tomorrow, Rochelle and Courtney and I are gonna be back here doing a sisterhood chat. You're not gonna want to miss it. So all right, I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their day or evening, and I love you, and I'm gonna say bye.